So last time we discussed how you set up your marketing for success and growth. Today's episode we are going to discuss how sales is going to be set up for your success. Very, very crucial. We have some frameworks which we have learned over a period of time that will help you a lot. Hi, this is Vikram here from Kylas, and today is our sales for growth. How to set up your CRM properly, how to set up your SOPs properly for sales. So primarily, if you look at it and if you want to use a framework, the OKR framework works quite well when you want to set up your sales. So if I think of a framework to set up sales, we can break it down into an objective. What team are you going to need? Objective is usually revenue for sales. What team are you going to need to achieve that objective? Targets for each member of the team, right? So whatever your hierarchy is, so decide that upfront. Assign them their activities. So goals and activities are very, very important. So if you have your assumptions, your goals and your activities, that is a framework you need to work on. So let me repeat that. So you have your objectives, you have your team structure, goals for every team member and activities they are going to perform to get to that goal. So this is a good kind of a starting point to set up your sales CRM, because if your process becomes structured, your sales becomes predictable. So the first topic and the most important one is your stages or the dispositions of your pre-sales or SDRs and your inside sales or your sales people. So in B2B there might be pre-sales and sales, so there is a team to qualify or reach out or do meeting settings. In B2B2C your partners are doing that. You set up your sales process extremely well there and define very clearly the math, and you can tweak it as you go, right? You do your assumptions at every stage, the activities you are going to perform, and then depending on actual data you kind of readjust your assumptions. So before you are starting, put down your assumptions, and then going forward look at historical data, what growth experiments you are going to do or activities you are going to do at every stage, and tweak your data. Are you going to be more gung-ho that this activity is going to get you additional benefit, or you want to continue with is it depending on sales training? Then you don't need basically to change anything in system. If it's, let's say I want to sell 2-3 additional case studies and all these, then it's system dependent. So it can be people dependent or it can be system dependent. Define both very properly. So let's take one example to get more clarity. Let's say I want to do 10 lakh, right? Which is $1 million in a month. So if my deal size is, let's say 1 lakh per month per deal, then I need 10 deals in a month. If I need 10 deals in a month, I'm giving you a sample deal pipeline, and this is for a B2B deal pipeline. So I'm defining it as meetings. Then after meetings, you have proposal. After proposal, you have negotiation. After negotiation, you have contracts, and after contract, you have contract signed, and then onboarding. Right? So this is a typical B2B pipeline that you can look at. So our assumption is at every stage, let's say in the first 3 stages, there is a 20% drop off, and from proposal to contract, usually there might be a 50% drop off. Once the contract is sent, maybe 70% people will sign up. So these are my assumptions, and I need to kind of put my goals and numbers accordingly. So if I want to do 10, I need to do 10 contracts signed. I need to send out at least 15 contracts. If I want to send out 15 contracts, I need at least 30 proposals to be sent out, and so on. So define it very clearly. Your math has to be fixed, and then ongoing activities, how to optimize it. So this is called growth marketing, growth experiment, GTM engineering. You can call it whatever you want. It means the same, that you have a pipeline, you have disposition. So the next part is obviously defining your team structure and strategy very clearly. So again, very important in the age of AI. All your agents are part of the team, especially in sales, right? And they have their own KRAs and activities defined. So if you really want to push the envelope hard, today envision a team with AI agents and not just people. This is the number one mistake which everyone is still making. They are not willing to move ahead from the traditional model, and anyone who does gets a 10x advantage, right? So let me give you some examples around this. Around the agents, you have an AI SDR or a pre-sales agent. So your outreach activity and qualification and sending out emails, doing a basic call and qualifying and understanding interest can be done by the AI SDRs. Depending on what business you are on, if it's high touch, might just keep it restricted to email, and if the deal size is small, you can go full-fledged with the AI SDR. Another thing you can look at is a sales assistant, right, who goes through all the data, looks at follow-ups, schedules meetings and all these things. So you clearly define the KRA for people and agents and what they are supposed to do, and they should have number targets, right, with that. Fine. So that makes it a good team, right? So you know where is the handshake, where is the handoff, who's going to do what, and how is it going to work across your stages and dispositions. We have given a sample hierarchy primarily shown for a B2B team, where leads are qualified and then meetings are set, and then it's moved to the sales team. And primarily you have to have KRAs for your pre-sales, KRAs for your sales team, your SOP is clearly defined. For example, if I have to talk about a SaaS company and what we do at Kylas, a salesperson SOP is clearly defined. He has to do research, or a research agent helps him. He has to get it a little bit refined. What are my talking points, my LinkedIn, what data I have to collect before getting on the call. So this is just getting ready. Then during the relationship building phase on the first call, what is the small talk points. Then going forward, what are the pain points for the customer, how are you going to take the call, define the demo clearly. So these activities need to be defined with SOPs very clearly for them to achieve their goals. So very important, define a team structure with agents, what's the handshake, SOPs and KRAs. That's how we get started.